fact that you're paying $200,000 to him to go to therapy, that just seems sketch. It just makes me wonder, like, are they weaponizing mental health and trying to use it to kind of paint him in this light? And I'm be real with you. There are a lot of people who do this. With mental health being trendy, there are people out there that are so quick to label something's wrong with you. You have to go get help. You're mentally unstable. Understand this. The mental health industry right now is over a $90 billion industry. And over the next 5 years, it's slated to be about $132 billion industry. This is what the league's doing. It's kind of messed up. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Mentally Wealthy Support Network, where here we use real life examples to solve real life issues, aka our mental health. Lately, there's been a lot of issues between Antonio Brown and NFL teams, right? He had issues with the Steelers. He had issues with the Raiders. I'm surprised he really didn't have any issues. No, he did have issues in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken, right? But his latest thing is the issue with the Tampa Bay Bucks. So it was literally a couple games before the end of the season. He took off his shoulder pads, his jersey, everything, and just left, like right in the middle of the game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in my 32 years, I've never seen that in an NFL game, ever. So it was kind of wild. But recently, he was just on Real Sports on HBO, telling his side of the story in the latest developments. Let's tune in and let's check it out.
Prior to the game on January 2nd, the game against the New York Jets at the Meadowlands, were you given shots of Toradol?
Absolutely. Right before the game, I was given Toradol.
We actually have, Bryant, in the medical records that we've reviewed, evidence that the team regularly injected Antonio with Toradol. So he couldn't feel the damage that he was doing to his ankle until it got to that threshold point where he told his coach, "Coach, I can't play because of my ankle." And the coach's response to that was, "Get the F off the field."
Okay, so the Bucks shot you with Toradol in the week before the Carolina game, correct?
Absolutely.
They shot you again before the Jets game, correct?
Absolutely.
And you played the first half and had 3 catches.
See, here's the thing. That's real sketch. Here's the thing. If you haven't heard, right, there was this big issue about painkillers in the league. Now, I mean, you play in a contact sport like the NFL, you're going to need some type of painkillers, but this is no ordinary painkiller. So if you're not familiar with the drug, check this out. Medical experts are expressing concern over athletes' use of the injectable painkiller Toradol. Toradol is an anti-inflammatory drug in the same class as ibuprofen. Don't get it twisted, guys. This is not ibuprofen. The drug is commonly used in emergency rooms and after surgery to help with patients' short-term pain and inflammation. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that during the middle of a football game, they're injecting them with a substance that they give people after they just got done with a surgery?
What?
So that means that drug has to be crazy, crazy strong. And you're giving it to someone and expecting them to go out there and perform and play in a contact sport where people are getting hurt without anything in their body?
Come on.
A lawsuit filed in December by a dozen retired National Football League players claimed the league and its teams repeatedly and indiscriminately administered Toradol both before and during games, which worsened injuries such as concussions. You have all this going on about this drug. You have former NFL players suing the leagues, filing lawsuits against the leagues, obviously because of the effects of this drug. And you're telling me they're still injecting players with this drug? That's sketch. I'm be real. I wouldn't even feel comfortable about that.
3 catches for 26 yards, correct?
Yes.
And Arians claims that at halftime then you were upset about not getting more balls thrown your way. True or false? Is he lying?
False. It's not worrying about the ball. Tom Brady is my guy. He's the reason I'm on Tampa Bay, so I know I'm going to get the ball.
Antonio, I saw where you seem to resent the feelings of so many former coaches and teammates that you were in need of mental assistance. Does that bother you?
Mental assistance from who?
Professional assistance.
To the extent any of that is coming from a spin that Antonio had a spontaneous mental episode, it's resentful and it's hurtful, and it's a disservice to people who do suffer from mental health challenges. We all have our difficulties, Antonio, myself, everybody.
Yeah, these guys at Tampa Bay Bucks try to make an agreement with me to give me $200,000 to go to the crazy house so these guys can look like they know what they're talking about.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, I don't like the fact that Antonio Brown's calling this thing the crazy house, right? It just feeds into the stigma that's already around mental health. Dude, just because you have a disorder, just because you go see a therapist or you go check into a mental institution does not mean you're crazy, right? Like it's an actual real thing, man. You got people who grew up in rough neighborhoods, they see like some crazy stuff, like some wild stuff happen, right? It can make like completely change your perspective. It can damage you. It can make you a little bit, have caused you a little bit of PTSD, CPTSD, right? And completely change your outlook. But that doesn't mean that you're crazy, right? It just means you see the world in a different way, and you might need some tools to cope. So I really didn't like that comment by Antonio Brown. But getting back to the NFL, the fact that you're paying $200,000 to him to go to therapy, that just seems sketch. Just makes me wonder, like, are they weaponizing mental health and trying to use it to kind of paint him in this light? And I'm gonna be real with you. There are a lot of people who do this with mental health being trendy. There are people out there that are so quick to label something's wrong with you. You have to go get help. You're mentally unstable. We have to cut that out, guys. So if the league is using it to weaponize them, like that's just wrong.
You guys
Wait,
unprofessional.
wait.
treated me
They
wrong.
offered you $200,000 for
Tell 'em.
what?
Right.
The offer was Antonio would basically sit on the sidelines, go on some list, and commit himself to some form of intensive mental health treatment. And we were specifically told in writing by the general manager twice, don't spin this any other way.
Antonio, do you
Wait a minute. So all right. I got a different perspective now. It seems like they were saying, "Hey, you say there's something wrong with your mental health. I'm going to go get help. I'll pay you for it, and then you can sit on the sideline. We'll essentially cover your check. We'll cover the time you're sitting on the sideline and being on this list. And then after you complete your rehabilitation, you can come back." Then this raises the question: Are they using it? Are they trying to cash in on mental health being trendy right now? This is the thing you got to watch for. Some people do try to cash in on mental health being so trendy right now. Understand this. The mental health industry right now is over $90 billion industry. And over the next 5 years, it's slated to be about $132 billion industry. There's mad people out here trying to just cash in on it being trendy and don't even know what they're talking about, or just trying to hop on the bandwagon. You have to be careful. This is what the league's doing. It's kind of messed up.
think you need mental help of any kind?
I have mental wealth, man. I know a lot of people may not understand me or know how I look at things or don't know how I react emotional things, but it's not for them to understand me. You know, I got a beautiful family, kids, and people all across the world that look up to me. And there's no reason I'm in this position at this point, you know.
I love the fact that he said he has mental wealth. And it sounds like to me that his mind is in the right area, right? He's focused on, he said he has a family that loves and appreciates him, right? So it sounds like he's kind of grounded. Regardless of the narratives, here's my biggest takeaway: the importance of taking care of your mental health, regardless of whether you're getting paid or not. Too often you see people quitting jobs, quitting relationships, just abandoning ship as soon as somebody says or does something that they don't like. And the truth in terms of mental health, it's about acquiring the tools necessary to help navigate your environment. So you can't change your environment, and you can only change yourself. And for a lot of us, that just means leaving the environment. But that's not always the solution. There was a Navy guy that's once said that in the Navy, one of the rules of thumb is you're not so quick to abandon ship. Sometimes you need to create a temporary patch. You need to fix whatever damage on the ship. Because once you jump your butt out in the ocean, you out there. But here's one thing about that ship: it's taking you from point A to point B. Some of us are leaving jobs too soon. Some of us are leaving relationships too soon because we lack the inability to do the work. That's why I say we have to change this narrative about taking care of your mental health just being about disorders, just being about illnesses. It's so much more than that. When you look at Antonio Brown, he comes from a different background. Of course, there's some people in the league that may not understand how he sees things or how he responds to things. But it's not their job to understand how you see things. It's your job to use that vehicle to get to where you want to be. And in order to do that, you have to acquire the proper tools. That means going to therapy, doing the self-help studies, right? Journaling, doing that deep work. When you get to that point where you're not allowing the way you feel to affect the way you flow and you're chasing mental health, that's when you'll have that peace. That's when you have that bliss. And I believe if Antonio Brown took this kind of mindset, who knows? He could possibly be the Tom Brady in the receivers position. He's just that good. My message to you today is, guys, don't be so quick to abandon ship. I know it may not look the way you want it to look. I know there are some toxic relationships, some toxic leaders, right? There's some toxic workplaces. Sometimes the answer is to go to get therapy, to go get the proper help you need so that you can acquire the proper PPE to deal with that toxic relationship, to deal with that toxic environment so that you can get from point A to point B. Have a great day. Let's learn how to navigate our environments. And most importantly, let's hit the like, subscribe, and the notification button down below so that you don't miss out what's going on in Mentally Wealthy Support Network. Listen, I'm telling you, we got a lot coming down the tube. You don't want to listen out. You don't want to miss out. Mental health is the new wealth. Write it down. Take a picture. Let's get to the bag. All right. Let's have a great day. We'll talk soon, guys. Peace.